What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's me. It's DRB. When the GPC held auditions, I submitted one, filled out the form, told them why I should be in the GPC. Because what's the worst that could happen? They say no. Well, they didn't say no, they said yes. Now the pressure's on. I've been in several leagues before, but this is the most organized, the one with the most serious competition. And a championship has always been slightly out of my reach. I make the playoffs. I get real close. I have my hands on the gold, but it always manages to slip away. But it's not about me. It's not about whether I win or lose. I don't fight for me. I fight for the people. No matter how many times I get knocked down, I always get back up. No matter how many Pokemon I lose, I always do my best to win. And that's what I plan to do in the GPC. That's what I'm going to do in the GPC.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's DRB, bringing you the first week of the GPC. I'm facing Melontosh, coach of the Exeter City Electivires. God, I hope I said that right and remembered it correctly, but I'm pretty sure I did. Now, I am recording this on upload day. I actually recorded it the day we had our battle, but I was super tired that day, and my commentary was just awful. I won't even lie. It was so bad. So I'm re-recording it. I'm feeling, I'm feeling the hype. So he's got a fun team. He brought a fun 6. I actually predicted the 6 he was going to bring. I didn't really prep for Dusclops because it's not going to take my whole team out unless he's brought a super crazy set on it. I can maneuver around it regardless of what he brings, so I didn't super prep for it, but I prepped for the other 5 he brought. He's got Greninja. Now his Greninja is Protean, and that's freaking insane. It's terrifying. He's backed that up with Jolteon, very, very fast. I don't have anything on my team to block Volt Switcher. Well, I didn't bring anything to block a Volt Switcher. Then we've got Dusclops, a Violite user, probably Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Dusclops. Sylveon, on this team, it looks to be bulky Cleric, Heal Bell, Wish, and maybe Protect. Then we've got Excadrill, probably a Rock Setter. Hard to tell. When I started the match, I kind of guessed he'd probably lead with it. And then we have Megaladios, another terrifying mon, very, very fast. Now, we drafted Mega Sableye, who I always bring shiny because it is so ugly. We've got Talonflame, which I life orb because I'm a crazy person and I'm insane. We've got Scarf Salamence because I know it outspeeds everything on his team, and if I get rid of that Sylveon, Outrage is just gonna punch holes. Then we've got Empoleon, defensive, Air Balloon with Stealth Rock and Deep Fog. He might not have Stealth Rock, I don't remember. It always got Scald and Flash Cannon. I had some people hate on my drafting Empoleon, and fuck you, I like him. Then we've got Reuniclus, one of my favorite Pokemon just in the whole entire world. This thing can handle teams by himself. He's insane. Then we've got Weezing to complement my core. Gets me off the ground a little bit more, added to Talonflame and Salamence, but without the weakness to Rock Slide. And you know how it goes. Let's go. So he leads Excadrill. Now, I knew he was going to, because I knew he would get up rocks, and I knew he had Mold Breaker because the game told me he had Mold Breaker. So I know his rocks are going to go through my Magic Bounce. So I go for Will-O-Wisp, and I'm like, yes, and I miss, because I'm turn 1 of this league, and so he gets up Stealth Rocks for free, which is really, really annoying. But, it's Pokemon. He apologizes. That's adorable. Not in a condescending way. I really think it is adorable. It's Pokemon, I'm going to miss. So I Will-O-Wisp again. I didn't expect him to stay in, but just in case he was packing something crazy, I wanted to burn it. He brings in Sylveon, whatever, residual damage on this thing. Fantastic. So he switches out again, which was crazy. Hang on. Give me 1 second. Let me pause before the next play happens. Now, I'm in a group chat with some other guys that I talked to Pokemon about, and I talked to them about my GPC draft, and I talked to them about my first opponent, and they said, oh, that Sylveon wrecks your whole team. And I said, no, it doesn't. And they said, yes, it does. It even kills Sylveon. And I said, no, it doesn't, because fully specially defensive Sylveon with full HP investment can take a modest Hyper Voice. It does 87 to 93%-ish. That's a guess. I calced it. Now, I brought Metal Burst on Sableye for this very situation. Because if I get residual damage, if I get burn, I get rocks, T-spikes on Sylveon, Metal Burst beats it if he attacks me. So I brought Metal Burst for Sylveon to kill it. And he switches to Jolteon and I reveal Metal Burst. So, turn 3, whatever. I was praying for it, but it's fine. He doesn't Volt Switch expecting me to maybe Metal Burst again, just, to get more residual damage. So I go for the other move I've got, which I love, and it's Nightshade, because I don't have to invest anything in this Sylveon set other than defense, and Metal Burst and Nightshade will still deal tons of damage. Now, this is fantastic, because he goes for Wish, and I go for Metal Burst, because I want it to work so bad. But he wishes, and that's fine. So I expect to Protect here, and I'm going to go for Nightshade, but he goes for Calm Mind. Now, at this point, I expect he's probably calced how much Metal Burst would do to him if he hit me with a Hyper Voice, and he knows that if he gets a Calm Mind up, he can kill Big Match John in one hit with no problem. So I think, all right, I can't let that happen to me. I wanted to get some Nightshade damage off just so his Wish didn't get him back up, even more. So I switch to Malzedonk here, which is my dedicated counter to almost all of his team. He goes for another Wish. Very smart, very smart. He's very hesitant on attacking me, which is fantastic. So I know he's not staying in. He's not staying in to take a Sludge Bomb. That'd be insane. He'd be the ballsiest player of all time. So he switches out and he goes into Latios. Very good switch. Take it and get some revenge damage off. I go for Toxic Spikes. Now, at the last second, I decided to bring Pain Split on this Weezing versus Flamethrower, and that ended up being a mistake. Not so much a mistake, but it ended up hindering me a little bit. So we switch out into Reuniclus, because Reuniclus can take anything, and he goes for Psychic. Now, Psychic, obviously, super resisted. I think I brought Specially Defensive Reuniclus as well, because I love him so much. Love him. Oh my god, he's so great. Such a great Pokemon. I actually brought him Life Orbed with Magic Guard, just to get a little extra damage off. He's actually, I think, slightly bulky, Specially Defensive with HP and some special attack investment. So I go for Thunder Wave. Good switch. Might have predicted me there to go back out into Bella. I'm not sure. We're going to go into Lenny and Empoleon, take a little bit of Rocks damage, but whatever, it's fine. We still got our Balloon. He doesn't attack here again. He goes for Wish, and I'm starting to think, oh boy, this Sylveon is going to be a bit more of an issue than I thought. So we get Rocks, Defog, and then Flash Cannon and Scald on Lenny, just to maybe snag some burns. So I go for Defog here because he's not staying in. I know he's not staying in. That'd be absolutely insane. And I know that the combination of Rock Slide and Earthquake on Excadrill is going to obliterate Lenny. So Lenny's here to do two things. He's there to defog if necessary, if I really want Rocks gone on my side of the field. If I've got 2 layers of Toxic Spikes up, I'm not going to do that. And he's here to kill Sylveon and do damage to Excadrill. That's all I brought him for. So being able to burn Latios was fantastic. So I sent out Big Mash John again, expecting Draco Meteor or Psychic, but he goes for Thunderbolt, which is insane. And not only did he go Thunderbolt, he gets a crit and a paralysis, because fuck me, right? It's fine. Like, he apologizes again, which is adorable, and I thank you, Melon. You're so nice. But it's, it's Pokemon. You're going to get crits, you're going to get paralysis, sometimes you're going to get them together, and I have to play around that. And it's really annoying, but it is what it is. It's the game. Like, you can't apologize for bringing the move. You brought the move. That's what it does. Sometimes it paralyzes. Blah, 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 you. So I go for Nightshade, knowing he's probably not going to attack, and I haven't seen Protect yet. So he goes for Heal Bell. Fantastic. He goes for Hyper Voice, which is really funny. I could have gone for Metal Burst here, but I didn't. I go for Nightshade, and Nightshade takes out Sylveon. So to the other group of people that I talked to Pokemon about, fuck you. Sableye killed Sylveon. Not in the way I wanted it to, but you know what? I got the kill regardless. So I'm not going to switch out here, because my team does not want to take a freaking Rock Slide. The only one that would want to would be Empoleon, and I'm not sending him out there to take a Rock Slide and an Earthquake until I have to. So I sent out Empoleon here, knowing that Empoleon is going to die. But if I can get a Scald Burn, I will be in a very good position. So I know he's going to pop my Balloon, and I know he's going to kill me with Earthquake. But I go for Scald. It does a ton, but I do not get the burn. Disappointing. But whatever. He gets a crit on Earthquake. Absolutely does not matter. Excadrill is a monster, and Empoleon, decently bulky as it is not taking that. So I go into Bib Burp here because I can kill this thing, or at least do enough damage to matter. and I decided to go for Flare Blitz because it's safer than trying to risk the Brave Bird. I have Brave Bird, Flare Blitz, which I just used, obviously, U-Turn, and Roost. It is my favorite set on Talonflame. Future GPC members that I face, don't write that down. Just ignore that I said that. So I U-Turn. It gets me out of there. I don't know what this thing's going to do. I'm not sure yet. It's a defensive set. He goes for Rock Slide, which is crazy. Physically offensive Dusclops was the last thing I expected. So he switches out because, he doesn't have much to do to me. Goes back into Latios. It seems to be his dedicated switch in. I go for T-Spikes again. If I can get one layer up, that's all I need. I just need to be able to do some residual damage. I don't care if it stacks. His most defensive healer is gone now. He's got pseudo recovery on Dusclops, but that's it. So he goes into Excadrill, and I swap because he might be going for Rapid Spin or might be going for Stealth Rock. I don't know, but I don't need Weezing in there. He goes for Stealth Rock. That's fine. He makes the good swap, but I have Energy Ball on Reuniclus because there were a couple mons on his team that did not appreciate it, and that was one of them. So Reuniclus gets kill. He goes for Volt Switch. It tells me nothing right now. The damage output tells me, he's specially offensive, which, why wouldn't he be? And that he's faster than Reuniclus, which of course he is. So I learned nothing from that turn, but I do get to go for Recover. So we're here, and I think, I can go for Thunderwave. I can take a Draco Meteor, it's fine. But he goes for Thunderbolt. And I think, okay, maybe he's trying to snag a Paralysis again. I'm Magic Guard, but maybe. So I go for Psychic now that I'm faster because of Thunderwave. And he goes for T-Bolt again. And I think this is weird. Why is he doing this? And after the match, he told me what his Latios set was. And he brought a weird kind of sweeping Latios with Dragon Dance, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Psychic. Which it's weird. It's a weird set. But whatever. So I switch out because I ain't staying in on this freaking Dark Pulse. I think Weezing can take a Dark Pulse. He's specially defensive. I'll be just fine. I don't even need to calc this. And oh my god, it does 55%. It does so much. So Weezing does not take that hit very well, and I'm not switching out because, oh my goodness. And Mao Zedong goes down. But he supported the team. He got some T-Spikes up. He took some hits, diverted some attacks. It's fine. He did good. I'm proud of everybody I brought this week, no matter what they killed or did not kill. So I get to go into Terry Funk here because I know that he's Life Orbed, and I know that I'm going to kill him with this Outrage. He swaps. And he swaps into Mega Latios. So he's sacking this thing 100%. He's ready for this thing to die. I Outrage, and I think this is it. Game over. I'm faster than your whole team now, buddy. You could send in Dusclops, but I can just swap out into Talonflame, and I can, switch around. He goes to do Sage Jolt, and I think, doesn't even matter. He's Choice Scarfed. Yeah, he Choice Scarfed his fastest Pokemon. And that's, that was smart. That was freaking smart. So, I go into Talonflame, knowing he's locked into Hidden Power. I take the risk knowing I've got the priority Roost, no matter what. And I take the gamble that he's going to switch. I take the gamble that I'm going to get some damage off on something. I go for Brave Bird. It does 28%. Now, make a note of this 28% because I had to. I am at 3% right now, and I know he has Rock Slide. I have one choice. I Roost. I think Dusclops is not going to do that much damage no matter what because it's, Dusclops. It does 38%. That's good because I will always go first and he cannot flinch me. This is fine. I'm going to win this no matter what. I go for Roost. Now I forget for a brief second that I'm facing Dusclops, and he does in fact have Pain Split. The Rock Slide kind of threw me off on what Dusclops does because I was so shocked by it. He's at 29%. I go for Brave Bird, knowing my last one did 28%. I end up taking him out with my consistent damage. So shout out to Bibburb. I still have priority. I know he cannot outspeed me. So I go for Brave Bird again. I go down to Recoil and Life Orb, but I do get off a very good amount of damage against Jolteon. Plus I get a round of poison. So now it is Reuniclus versus the world. We've got two very powerful Pokemon against my very powerful Pokemon. Pause. Turn 39 is when shit goes down. Reuniclus is at full health. Both of my opponents have been whittled down. But they can both do a lot of damage to me. And it is very possible, like there's a good roll here, that if Jolteon attacks and Greninja attacks, that I do not live. But there is also a pretty good chance that if they both attack me and I do not get flinched by Dark Pulse, that I live and I win. So I have to decide here, does he think I'm going to go for Psychic or Recover? Because if he does, he will switch into Greninja. But if he predicts me to go for Energy Ball, he will stay in and try and attack me. So I sat here for a good little while, just debating on what to do with my life on turn 39. He switches Jolteon into Greninja. And I clicked Energy Ball. I take out Greninja, and from this point on, the game is mine. Because I know Psychic will do enough damage, and even if it doesn't, I can be a dick and just stall him out with Recover. I didn't do that because that would be awful of me. He's got Shadow Ball, and he gets the special defense drop. Had he clicked Shadow Ball before I killed him, got that special defense drop, I would have lost. 100%. So, shout out to Melontosh. I will link anything I can of his down below. We had a good first week. It was very, very close. A very good 40-turn game. Crit Fisto, Director DRB, and the Charlotte Houndooms have picked up their first win in the GPC, and we're going to try and do this every single week forever. And I'll see you next week.